Hello guys, and welcome back to another Peppa Pig Theorists video. In this video, we will be nitpicking the episode titled Potty Training, so let's get right into it. So first of all, in this video, Susie Sheep and Peppa seem to be having a tea party with Peppa's Teddy. George is then shown to be throwing his toy dinosaur, Mr. Dinosaur, up in the air, when his face turns unusually red all of a sudden.
Oh.
Susie then exclaims,
"What's that smell?"
and sniffs in the air, and Peppa makes this face. Meanwhile, George is looking very embarrassed, indicating that he has shat himself. Then George says,
"Poo-poo."
Probably the first word George has said the isn't dinosaur. Peppa yells to Mummy Pig,
"Mummy! George has done poo-poo!"
and Mummy Pig appears in about 2 seconds, flat holding a plastic potty, and George is looking quite smug the whole time. Mummy Pig then leaves with George to...
Let's get you cleaned up, George.
Susie sniffs the air and says,
"That's better."
but honestly, how does the smell just magically disappear from the room in that time? And then Peppa and Susie have a very long, awkward moment of talking about Teddy and tea. Peppa and Susie arrive in the room just as Mummy and George are finished up, and Peppa asks,
"Mummy, why can't George go to the toilet like me?"
Mummy explains why
He is not very good at potty training.
He will get better, Peppa. You were just the same once.
and Peppa makes a bold statement by saying,
What? I never did potty training.
and Susie agrees with her.
Or me.
Mummy Pig laughs to herself and explains that they both actually did do potty training. This amazes the two, and Peppa now remembers about her adventures while sitting on the potty. By the way, where the heck does their bathroom have 2 taps on the sink and bath? Isn't it normal just to have 1 tap for hot and cold instead of having 2? Anyways, back to the video. Peppa sets her Teddy on the potty, which is extremely unhygienic considering that George just pooped and peed on that toilet. Next, inspiring music comes in the background, and Mummy educates George about how to call out when he needs to go to the potty.
So, George, next time, before you poo-poo or wee-wee, call the magic word potty.
Potty.
That's right, potty.
Susie, Peppa, and George then go back into their room, all clean and fresh, and start playing what Peppa calls giants, where she starts stumbling towards George with her arms out saying,
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the smell of a clean, fresh.
Peppa then has this awkward moment, taking a long pause, remembering that she can't say the word bomb, because that's not family friendly, and instead says,
I smell the smell of a clean, fresh George.
They continue to that Cringgy game until George suddenly stops in his tracks, looks embarrassed again, and says,
Wee-wee.
Peppa yells out Mummy and Daddy that George needs the potty, and Daddy appears in less time than Mummy, which has to be some sort of record. Like, are they just waiting outside the door for George to need the potty or something? Also guys, if you've made it this far in the video, comment the word milk, and if you're a true lover of milk like us, then you'll click the like and subscribe button. Anyway, back to the video. George and Daddy get to George's potty in world record-breaking time. George sits on the potty looking very relaxed. Also, when George is in his room, and even when he's in the bathroom, he has pants on, but the second he sits down on the potty, they just disappear, and George is pantless. Not for long though, as they reappear when he is done. Daddy Pig proudly brings George back into his room, thanking Peppa, and reminds George that next time George should be the one to yell out, not Peppa, with the same inspiring music coming on, with Daddy Pig starting an epic solo.
The magic word is potty, so when you want to go, call out for your potty. The magic word is potty!
Potty.
Mummy Pig also appears, hearing the word potty with her potty instincts turning on. Peppa, George and Susie then run outside with their spotty ball and begin to play piggy in the middle, literally. Susie asks Peppa if she can throw the ball really high, and Peppa does so, though really not that high. Susie says,
Catch the ball, George!
George runs after the ball, and for the third time in what seems to be about 30 minutes, his face flushes red and he has a look of embarrassment on his face. George turns around and screams the word,
Potty!
Mummy and Daddy burst out the door, potty in hand. As they somehow heard him from the house, I guess it was just the potty instinct going at it again. Inspiring music chimes out again as Daddy and Mummy reassure George that they are coming with the potty.
Hang on, George!
We've got the potty!
Once again, Mummy Pig picks George up, deleting his pants as he touches the potty. Mummy Pig then congratulates George for calling for the potty with a massive voice crack,
Well done, George.
followed by a round of applause by everyone else. Peppa then says,
Now George is almost grown up, like me!
yeah, not so sure about that one Peppa. Everyone then falls over around George, who is still stationed on the potty, and the episode concludes. Okay guys, that's all for now. See you guys later in the next episode. Now roast us in the comments.
The magic word is potty, so when you want to go, call out for your potty. The magic word is potty. Call out for your potty. The magic word is potty.